queens, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. If you're new, be sure to hit the little subscribe button because I would love for you to become one of the queens, and like, who doesn't want to be a queen? So basically, I'm going to be telling a story time today, and you should grab a snack because it's going to be a wild ride. Literally. This is going to be the story about the time that I ran into an electric fence. Yeah. So I'm gonna drive home and then I'm gonna tell this story. So also there were a few things I wanted to mention. So first, I am sorry, somebody is bopping. But anyway, I am sorry about the audio on these last few videos. I got the iPhone XR and I don't really know how I feel about its microphone because every video I've posted to YouTube gets distorted in some way, and like it sounds normal as I'm editing it and it sounds fine, and then once I upload it, it all of a sudden sounds distorted. So I am so sorry about the audio lately. Like, I don't know what's wrong with it, but if anyone has any recommendations, please let me know in the comments. And the second piece is, I know I didn't post a video last week and it's gonna be a little bit choppy for the next bit of time because finals are coming up and I've just had a lot of like homework going on, and I'm just like trying to find a happy medium between posting videos and having a social life and getting my schoolwork done and working my job. So that's been a little bit of a struggle, and I'm just like doing my best, and YouTube is fun and everything, but like unfortunately right now it has to be the first thing to go, because even though it like brings me pleasure and stuff, like my social life and my YouTube go because I need to focus on the things that are actually gonna like get me into my career and like make me money. And I'm not like trying to be money greedy, but like I don't have enough subscribers on YouTube or anything to make money, so it's more of just a hobby at this point. So yes, I'm sorry if I'm a little bit inconsistent these next few weeks. I should be back on track very soon, and yes, thank you for sticking through and staying subscribed anyway. So now we're gonna get into our story time. Love you. So I'm not sure if this story takes place before or after I was adopted, but I do know that it was with my adoptive family, and my adoptive cousins were very popular at at our school, and I wanted to seem cool in front of them. And trying to show off is what gets a lot of people in trouble. And that's the premise of this story. Our cousins were over at our house, and all the parents were over, and my dad was showing them our apple trees or something like that. He was showing them some trees, and he told me that I could take my cousins on the ride on the gator. And if you don't know, a gator is like a slow version of a four-wheeler. I think it only gets up to like maybe 20 miles per hour, not very fast at all. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna drive them around. And I usually drove so slow because I was like terrified of anything, but I didn't want to seem like a wuss. So I was going like full speed and going down these like back paths, and we had a lot, like there was like cornfields and like random twists and turns and hills and stuff, and there's like a pond and a lot of things that could go wrong. And I'm just going full speed, laughing, talking, trying to seem cool in front of these cousins, and all of a sudden I somehow lost control and like hit a bump, I think, and just like swerved and went through the cornfield directly into the electric fence. We decided to look down, and one of the cousins was a boy, so we kind of like left the work to him, and we told him to look, and the electric fence was like wrapped around the tire and like snapped. And I didn't know if the electric fence was on or not, but like we needed to get it off the tire so we could go back, pretend that it didn't happen. So my cousin, the boy, decided to bite the bullet and unwrap the electric fence from the tire. And luckily, it was turned off. Because we have cows, and like we would usually have it on so they wouldn't escape. But every once in a while, it would be off just like randomly. And luckily, it was randomly off. So, yep, my cousin got down, unwrapped the electric fence from the tire, and we got back in, drove back, pretended like nothing happened, and like I'm sure you could obviously tell that we were like very terrified and like did not want to get in trouble, especially me. And we were all like being so awkward, and they definitely sensed that. So then we went inside, and we have like this big huge window that like looks out at our entire yard, and I looked out and realized that my dad was like taking all the aunts and uncles on a ride on the gator, going very slow, inspecting things. And I knew that he knew something was wrong. And from my window, I could see the whole path of just knocked down corn. And like, there was no excuse. I couldn't blame it on anyone. He knew that I drove, and I'm pretty sure he told me like,
only you drive, like I don't want anyone else driving my gator.
So he like knew that it was me that crashed. I just like, so then they came back and they were all laughing and blah, blah, blah. And we were just like still pretending like we had no idea what was so funny. And they like came over and they were like, my dad was like,
so how was your guys' ride?
We were like,
Good. It was good.
and like just still kept pretending. And he was like,
Was it? Did you like, take a detour?
and I was like, he knows. He knows. And luckily I didn't get in trouble somehow, but like he was just like, he made fun of me for it. And it was so embarrassing because I was just trying to make a good impression on these cousins because they were popular, and I drove through the corn into an electric fence. I don't think I made a good impression. We never were friends. Like, I don't think they really like me that much. So maybe that's why. Maybe they hate me because I drove them into an electric fence. So yeah, that's the story of the time I literally drove into an electric fence because I'm a mess and I can't drive. So yeah, if you enjoyed this story time, be sure to give this a thumbs up so I know to do more story times. And subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the little bell to make sure you have my post notifications on. As always, I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Bye!